Tolisso whips it. Falls for Adingra. And Adingra just overran it, but it falls kindly for the Albion. Adingra. Oh, he digs it across. Should be the match-winning moment. Pedro! Brighton have won it in added time. And listen to the Amex roar. Massive, massive moment. Adingra was the creator as it came back to him. He looked up, Pedro completely unmarked. It's onside, the cross dug out to perfection. And Pedro, no panic, all composure, places it beyond Onana. And that is absolutely pinpoint, and Minte could be away here. He beats Gabriel. Can he beat Raya? No, he can't. Pedro perfectly placed to slide in Albion's equaliser. Beautifully finished from Joao Pedro on the score sheet again, and Albion all square at the Emirates. Joao Pedro, match winner against Manchester United last week, has levelled matters at the Emirates. It was Minte who went through, scuttling through at full speed, got the better of Gabriel, forced to save. Pedro's there, right on cue. Pedro dropping very deep into his own half. And he leaves Saka. Beautiful body feint. Another delightful ball over the top. Mitoma in. It drops to Mitoma, and it's reached Welbeck, and he can't force it home. Pedro might. Pedro has, and Brighton are level. The return of the king. Joao Pedro's back, and Brighton back in the game. Manchester City putting bodies on the line to try and clear the ball, but Joao Pedro sneaking in unnoticed, and it's past Ederson in the blink of an eye. A very evenly contested match, certainly in the second half. Here's Pedro, and Pedro sneaks it through, and O'Reilly's in! The noise is deafening. Matt O'Reilly on his Premier League debut may just be the match winner. Absolutely extraordinary scenes at the Amex. Manchester City don't know what's hit them. The answer is Matt O'Reilly. A neat flick there, and Pedro very clever to find Welbeck, who slaloms his way beyond the defence. Welbeck again, this is lovely. Jorginho, and it's there for Pedro! Perfect start for Brighton. Joao Pedro scores again. Wonderfully worked. Pedro heavily involved, clever flick there. Jorginho taking over, little 1-2 with Welbeck, letting fly. Kepa couldn't hold it, and Joao Pedro was there, right place, right time, simple finish, and Brighton have exactly the start they would have dreamed of. Welbeck can't keep it. Ayari digs out the pass, and Jorginho, instant control, and the Frenchman comes striding forward. Pedro, Welbeck, Pedro again, and threads it for Mitoma. That's beautiful! A work of art from Brighton to double their lead. Wonderfully worked. Look at the pass from Pedro. And the finish is emphatic from Kaoru Mitoma. Now it's Pedro, and it's dropped for Belieber. Belieber finds the net! Brighton level. Believer with the acrobatics and a crucial goal on his 50th Albion appearance. Just what the Seagulls needed. The touch from Pedro is breathtaking to tee up Believer. And he didn't try and smash it. He went for placement. Straight to Pedro, and Pedro's feet are quick, and the flick to Mitoma is perfect. Mitoma and Henderson forced into a save down low. Beautifully worked, and almost an early breakthrough for Brighton. But this work from Pedro. Outrageous skill. Mitoma keeping it low.
Dunk goes long down the middle, giving chase to both Adingra and Joao Pedro. May fall in here for Adingra! 1-0 to the Seagulls! Brilliant break from the Albion. Joao Pedro and Adingra were interested. It looked as though Joao Pedro may get there first, but lurking in the background was Simon Adingra. And he's back in amongst the goals this evening. Oh, it's a really smart finish into the right corner. Route 1 stuff from the Albion. Mings just invited forward now. To his left is Digne. Instead he was looking for either Watkins or Rogers. Oh, and that's a special turn in there from Joao Pedro. And now there's space for Lamptey on this near side to gallop forward. Into Joao Pedro. Might have been meant for Mitoma, and he will pick it up now. This looks promising for the Seagulls. Joao Pedro offloaded to Lamptey! Excellent finish from Tariq Lamptey. He scored in that 2-2 game against Leicester this month, and he's got another here just before the end of 2024. Mitoma it is who just rolls it back into Pedro, and he thumps it home, Tariq Lamptey. Well, the changes have made a difference from Fabian Hürzeler. Pedro with the assist, Lamptey with the strike.
Arsenal trying to work through them. Trossard's hit. Pedro's turn, and Pedro is away from his man. Trossard trying to keep pace with him. That'll be difficult. Pedro keeps it. Smoothly done by Joao Pedro, and he's now tripped. Joao Pedro restores parity. Brighton have their first goal of the new year, and they are level against Arsenal. Brilliant penalty again from Pedro. Sent Raya the wrong way, and that is right into the side netting. Perfect from Pedro. Smartly done by Joao Pedro. Good touch from Pedro. And Pedro could be in here. Pedro's one-on-one. Joao Pedro! That is impeccable. And Brighton have the lead that they have been threatening from the first minute. Look at that. Lovely. It was his touch that fell to Jorginho. Slight bit of fortune about how it reached him, but nothing fortunate about the finish at all. That is Joao Pedro at his absolute best. Believer again to Pedro, and that's a lovely dummy to let Tariq Lamptey in. Lovely touch for Mitoma, and Mitoma could be away. Here it is. Mitoma one-on-one. Mitoma, delightful. Kaoru Mitoma in a rich vein of form. Pedro with the touch, and Mitoma didn't need a second invitation. He just raced clear. And he'd obviously watched Joao Pedro in the first half closely, because that is a mirror image of a finish. Just lifting it wonderfully over Aaron Ramsdale. Splendid work from Brighton, Kaoru Mitoma's at it again. Pedro versus Kepa. And it's Pedro, penalty perfection yet again. Albion take the lead. He never looks rushed, he never looks hurried, he never looks nervous, and he dispatches penalties time and time again.
Clearances from Gomez. The chested control there is from Joao Pedro. Tonali drags him back. Empty lobbing that one down the line, and Minte is able to find the midriff of Joao Pedro. And Minte's played in here, one-on-one for the leveller! He's done it against his old side. A muted celebration from Yankuba Minte. Well, no muted celebrations from the travelling Albion fans. Maybe that this goes down as an own goal. Joao Pedro it is, with the perfect through ball, and then Minte slides it in.
And Pedro beats Diaz to it. And he's done well there, Pedro, still going as well. Can Albion make a giant leap forward in their race for Europe? Pedro against Leno. Pedro scores! The Amex goes wild. An epic finish to the game. And Joao Pedro, the coolest head in the Amex. Leno guessed right, but it didn't matter. And yet again, Joao Pedro is deadly from the spot. Pedro, Adingra. Pedro slaloms away from one. Pedro in front of the Leicester fans against Hermansen, and he rolls it home. Joao Pedro gives Albion the lead, and then glares at the away fans who'd been trying to put him off. Pedro still going, Joao Pedro, and he's got beyond Okoli. Pedro pulled down. Caleb Okoli will be lucky to avoid a yellow card here. He hasn't done. Another yellow card for Leicester. Joao Pedro doing what he does best, tormenting opposition defenders. For the second time this afternoon, it's Joao Pedro against Mads Hermansen. Deep intake of breath. Pedro, he scores and restores Albion's lead. Joao Pedro worth his weight in gold as a penalty taker. He is absolutely deadly from the spot. Once again, he sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and Brighton thoroughly deserved that.